It's also a giant nerd, and I wanted to hang out with you today and talk about some nerd things. I think that all of you are able to comment there, so you can put comments and questions talking. And I want to start by talking about space, because my friend Riley Barnes had a whole bunch of space questions this morning, and it made me so excited because I love space. Even though I'm an English teacher, I really like science. And she had a lot of questions about the way that astronauts live. And it got me thinking. So we're all doing, like most of us right now are at home in our houses instead of at school where we normally would be, or instead of, at our jobs where we would normally be. And the reason that we're doing that is because of social distancing, that there's this illness going around, and we're supposed to kind of put a little distance between ourselves and other people so that we can't do the activities that we normally do, but it also helps us, keep healthy. Oh, I see Michaela there. Hi, Michaela. Well, here's the thing. Astronauts do the ultimate social distancing, because when you're an astronaut and you are on a space station on a mission, it's not just like, I better stay home, but I'd rather be like hanging out with my friends, or I'd rather be going out to the movies or whatever. It's, you can't leave, because if you do, you're just in space. Oh, I see Sarah got there. Hi, Sarah got there. Astronauts they are like the experts at social distancing. So I'm going to share with you some stuff that I've learned from astronauts, because I have had a really, really neat opportunity to go a couple of times. I went to see a space shuttle launch last year around this time, and I have talked to a couple of astronauts, and I've kind of asked these questions of like, how do you handle that? What do you do? So first of all, picture this. Like when you're picturing an astronaut in space, are you picturing a room that's the size of your car, or like a room that's the size of your house, or like a room that's the size of your school? Because most of the time where astronauts are hanging out, they're not hanging out on the moon, they're hanging out in the International Space Station. So right now, this second, as we're talking, orbiting above us is the International Space Station. And it's the size of about a football field. So if you've ever been to a football game or like run around the track of your school, that's how big the International Space Station is. And it's called the International Space Station. Months at a time is the normal amount of a mission. And you're with people who are from your same country, but then people who are from other countries who are also astronauts, and they speak their own language. But it's kind of, I don't know, it must be like pretty crazy to have conversations here. Maybe they're having them in like a couple of different languages. I see Matt Schaefer. Hi, Reba. So we're here talking about, the astronauts on the International Space Station. So one of the questions that Riley Barnes had was about, how do they talk to their friends and family? Well, it used to be that was really, 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 really hard. But now, actually, they can talk to their friends and family a lot every night. And they can't stream movies like all of us right now that are in our houses, and but we can stream movies. If you're on the International Space Station, you can't do that, but you can download movies before you go and then watch them there. One of the things about astronaut life that I thought was the most interesting was the food. Because when I was a kid, I used to love to go to the science museum, and in the shop, they'd have these like dried up ice cream bars, and there's freeze-dried ice cream. Because think about this. How long did I say the astronauts are there? 6 months. 6 months. So you can't take any food that is going to go bad. So probably, in your house, you have done a grocery store, and you've gotten extra towels. Hi, Christine. You have gotten maybe rice, maybe like all kinds of pasta, food that doesn't go bad. Well, if you're an astronaut on the space station, your food needs to last a long time. And after a couple of months, they'll send a shuttle that has more supplies. But even so, there's not very much space to store stuff. So one of the things that they do now that they did not do when I was a kid is that they grow their own food. which I think is wild. NASA has like space farms and these astronauts like farm foods. So I'm just gonna show you. So this right here, this is a tomato plant. This is a tomato plant that I just rescued from my car, which is waiting to be planted in my garden. And this is not very good space food. You know why this is not very good space food? Because do you see any tomatoes on it right now? Nope. No tomatoes. That is because tomatoes are not in season right now. So I'm going to plant this in my garden. I'm going to fertilize it. I'm going to, let it have some sunshine. And then after a while, tomatoes will grow on it, and then I can harvest it. And I can harvest that for as long as the weather holds, but then when it's winter, no more tomato. So if you're on the space station, you don't want to have a plant where you have to wait weeks and months in order to have, food. That's not going to work very well. And let's list all those things that the plant needs. Doesn't have that. It's not summertime on the space station a whole lot. So how about this? This is cucumber. And you're saying no, it's not. That looks like a little tiny, I don't know what. No. This right here, I planted a cucumber seed a couple of weeks ago, and now I've got my little seedling. And in some weeks and months, it's going to make a great big vine, and cucumbers are going to grow for it. Again, not a great plant to have if you are on the space station, because you got to wait, and then where's that vine going to go, etc. Now this, on the other hand, this is perfect space food. Look at here. Even though there's just this little tiny, I'm going to take this little tiny baby spinach leaf. I'm going to eat it. It's delicious, like Popeye. I'm getting all kinds of vitamins. And have I harmed the plant? Because the spinach plant, when you cut off a little leaf and you eat it, it just keeps making more and more and more. So this is a perfect space food to grow on your spaceship. And in fact, those are the kinds of crops that NASA astronauts grow. They grow spinach and lettuce and kind of salads. You grow a salad. So I have here are some more examples. This is a little tiny tomato plant. Not going to work. Beautiful plant. You don't have to eat them. So I will tell you something. When I went to the labs, and it's called the Veggie Lab at NASA, where they did this, do you know who I learned all of these facts from? A woman named Dr. Poulet, and she was French. And when she started talking, I went like this. I just wanted to laugh real loud, but I didn't. I control myself because I didn't want to be rude. But, she keeps telling us all these space food facts in her French accent. And then she said her name is Dr. Poulet. And I waited until everybody left so that I could ask her, maybe I'm not hearing your name right. And she said, no, it's Poulet, Poulet. And do you know why that is so funny and why I was having such a hard time controlling myself? Because poulet in French, it means chicken. Her name is Dr. Chicken. So right now, in Florida, NASA has a scientist who is a space farmer, and her name is Dr. Chicken. So that is one of my favorite facts that I learned, but true story. So NASA scientists have a space farm in Florida, and also on the International Space Station, they do in fact grow these things. So those are a couple space facts. I also wanted to tell you about a couple of astronauts, and then we could do some space Spanish, just in case. So astronaut number one that I wanted to tell you about, I'm not at school, so I can't print out a picture. So hopefully you can see this beautiful lady. This lady is Mae Jemison. So Mae Jemison she was an astronaut. She doesn't go into space anymore, but she's still alive. She's still around. And Mae Jemison is just kind of a super fascinating lady. Her life is she's like a superhero. She has done so many things. Here are some Mae Jemison facts. First of all, she's an engineer. So she can build things, she's fix things. That's something really handy if you're on a space station. She's also a medical doctor. So if someone's sick, you want to be up in space with Mae Jemison. She's from Alabama, so she's a Southerner. And she's also somebody who speaks a lot of languages. And you know that I love languages. So I think that that's really, really, really cool. But before she became an astronaut, she actually served on the Peace Corps and volunteered as a doctor in Cambodia. So she speaks English, she speaks French, she speaks all these crazy languages. She's a doctor. And then when she was a kid, you might think like, oh, okay, if I'm going to, you can also just be a person who's interested in a whole lot of stuff. So Mae Jemison, when she was a teenager, when she was 14 years old, she tried out for the school play, and it was West Side Story. She tried out for the lead role, didn't get it, but she still danced. And one of the ways I know that that was probably a really important experience to her is because when she went on her space missions, you're allowed as an astronaut to take like a couple of personal items. And one of the things that she took was an Alvin Ailey poster of dancers. So you know that she really loved music, loved dancing. And another thing that she brought with her is a picture of Bessie Coleman. So Mae Jemison is the first Black woman to go into space who's an astronaut. And she brought a picture of Bessie Coleman, who's the first Black woman to have an international pilot's license. So I just think she's a really, really cool person. And I can see Chris Alexander out there giving me a hard time. But Mae Jemison is still around and she's done a whole lot. So you need to respect. The other astronaut that I wanted to tell you about is he, you can tell from the way I say my name. Oh, hi, Ricky. He's a Mexican American. So he was born in California, but his parents, just like my parents, were born in Mexico. And actually his family is from a really, really cool part of Mexico called Michoacan. And his family is an indigenous group there called the Purepecha. So he's probably actually our first indigenous person to go to space. But if you are also from Mexico, you might want to ask your parents about Michoacan, and maybe you're from there. I know I have a couple of students who are from there, and Purepecha. But anyway, so Jose Hernandez, that's his background but NASA likes to send astronauts to the bottom of the ocean because the bottom of the ocean is a lot like space. If you think about it. I'm also getting Christian Alexander facts about Mae Jemison. She was on Star Trek, which is a really, really cool fact. Okay, so this is like our, space food facts, some astronaut facts, but I also did promise that we would do some Spanish. So I'm going to teach you some Spanish words just in case you find yourself as an astronaut in space and maybe, you need to talk to some aliens. Who knows? Who knows who you need to talk to? I'm hearing a question from Amir. Amir wants to know if Ms. Checka is going to go to space. Listen, Amir, I have thought about it. I'm a little too chicken. I get really excited about it. And sometimes I think I would go. The SpaceX shuttle is called Dragon, and it's really fancy inside. So maybe if I could go on the SpaceX shuttle and I had like a lot of snacks and I could grow some spinach and I had books to read, then maybe I will also go to space because I think I could really see some beautiful, I just think it would be really, really beautiful Spanish. It's very important in your daily life. So first of all, we need to know how to say hi, right? So here I am, I'm an astronaut, I'm on the International Space Station. Maybe there's some Spanish speaking astronauts I want to talk to, or, maybe I see some aliens, I want to introduce myself. So I'm going to say, hola, right? Just like that. You probably know this word. So you say, hola, and then you want to ask the alien, how you doing? So you say, hola, ¿cómo estás? But then, that alien just doesn't know if your intentions are good or bad. So you want to let that alien know that, we cool. So you can say to the alien, vengo en son de paz. So paz means peace. So it's literally means I come in a song of peace. But in English, we kind of say I come in peace. Vengo en son de paz. So I'm going to say hola, and then you say hola right back to me. So hola. Okay, now I'm going to say ¿Cómo estás? And you can say bien or mal. And then I'm going to say vengo en son de paz. And then you can say it back to me. Hi, Claire. I see you. All right. So, hola. ¿Cómo estás? Vengo en son de paz. Okay. And now I'm going to say what planet I come from. Yo soy de la Tierra. So, la Tierra, that's Earth. That's where we come from. ¿De dónde eres? All right. So, hola. ¿Cómo estás? Bien. Vengo en son de paz. Yo soy de la tierra. Right? And then let's practice saying the names of the different planets in case you need to tell somebody that you are from a different planet. Okay? So the first planet, I'm going to put it up here. First planet is going to be Mercurio. Mercury. Actually, this is probably too bulky. Mercurio. Okay, next planet is Venus. Venus. That's if you're from Venus. Ethan, I see you. I didn't see you at first. Okay, don't be hurt. And then you can say Tierra, la Tierra. That's Earth. And notice that's also the same word in Spanish for dirt because it's Earth. So Tierra. And then Marte. Marte is Mars, after the god of war. So let's not get into it with any aliens from Marte. Júpiter. Júpiter. And then Saturnio. Saturnio. That is, I bet y'all know what that is. Saturnio, see if I write it right here. It looks almost how we spell it. Oh, you can't see it because I am not skilled at writing it backwards. Saturn, Saturn, Saturnio, the planet with the rings on it. Okay, Uranio, Uranio, and Neptunio, Neptunio. Who knows? Okay, first of all, Neptunio is the planet Neptune. Bonus round, 10 points of Gryffindor. Who knows, like, who Neptunio, the planet, is named after? Any of y'all? Look at you slacking over there on the comment section. That's Neptune, people. It's the god of the oceans, god of water. Where are my Percy Jackson fans? Poseidon. Okay, there we go. There we go. A god of something. It's the god of the water. I don't know why we named the planet Neptune out of him. That would be a fun thing for one of y'all to look up. Okay. We have talked about the space station. We have talked about space farming. We have talked about space Spanish, just in case. Two really cool scientists who are astronauts, who's Mae Jemison and Jose Hernandez. Before I move on to Saber-Tooth Tiger, does anybody have questions? And I'm going to be looking over here on the comment screen to see if anybody has